Good evening. Today is Saturday, July 16th, 2022, and we have another update on the spread of monkeypox worldwide. As you may have seen in a previous video, I will be doing updates for the United States separately, given the amount of information we have from that country. And so this video will cover the rest of the world besides the United States. There are a total now of 12,963 cases of the virus worldwide, with 152 suspected, for a total number of 13,115 confirmed and suspected cases. So a very significant jump since last time. I believe last time we only had maybe around 6,000 confirmed cases worldwide, so almost doubling in just a matter of days. And I think that's really a testament to how fast this virus is spreading and the growing outbreaks that we're seeing in many different parts of the world. Just to note, the World Health Organization has said that they will convene a meeting this week on July 21st to decide whether or not they will declare monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. That is after they decided against doing that in late June. But nonetheless, this situation is continuing to escalate and become much worse, and we'll see what they do. But I would think that given how much has changed over the past couple of weeks, that they would be leaning towards that declaration, which would free up a lot of resources to fight this outbreak and also really put it on the radar for many governments and their citizens to be on the watch. But let's dive in. Spain, this is not really giving a full account of it, but you can see here 3,067 confirmed cases. That's an increase of 1,321 since our last update. So a very remarkable growth of this virus in Spain. You can see that the community of Madrid now with more than 1,000 cases and hundreds in Caledonia and Andalusia, and we're seeing more cases pop up in some of the other communities in Spain. Ceuta, Melilla, and La Rioja, though, still with 0 cases. I think that will change soon, but nonetheless, an additional 1,321 cases in Spain for a total of 3,067 cases nationwide. Germany reporting 617 new cases since our last update for a total of 1,859. Again, all of these continue to be in all 16 federal districts of Germany. And interestingly, they have this new website apparently where you can see information about where different cases are. I'm not entirely sure about that. But nonetheless, 1,869 cases of the disease, or 1,859 rather, in Germany. The United Kingdom releasing another update yesterday on July 15th. They said that they had an additional 505 cases since our last update for a total of 1,856 laboratory confirmed cases in the United Kingdom. And 1,778 of these are in England. Scotland is far behind, as is Northern Ireland and Wales. Scotland at 46, Wales at 20, and Northern Ireland at 12. And again, a vast majority of these cases are in London, which has 1,300 cases. But we are starting to see some new areas that are having a significant number of cases, specifically the northwest, the southeast, those areas now both with more than 100 cases of this virus. And I'd say that these, southeast, southwest, England, that's generally somewhat close to London. The northwest, that's much further away from London, but nonetheless, London continuing to be the epicenter of the outbreak in the United Kingdom. France reporting an additional 335 cases since our last update for 912 cases total. 569 continue to be in Greater Paris. And really what we're just seeing is the spread of the virus, not only in Greater Paris, but growing outbreaks outside of the capital. And you can see that here, really, with 87. It actually doesn't look like this map is fully updated. That's interesting. So the French Department of Health updated this on the 11th, but released this information on the 12th. Nonetheless, this part here, the southern part of France, south central rather, centered around Lyon, really starting to become, if you will, the second epicenter, if you will, for France. Anywho, an additional 335 cases in the country for 912 total. The Netherlands reporting an additional 197 cases since their last update now for a total of 549 cases. This graph here is new, and just sort of talking a bit about the number of cases in the country and the time at which they're being reported and so forth. Anyways, that's the update from the Netherlands. Canada reporting an additional 190 cases since their last update for a total now of 539. 63 new cases were added in Quebec, which now has 299 confirmed cases of the virus. Ontario added 93 confirmed cases for a total now of 194. And also, I don't have this information with me at the moment, but Ontario releasing a pretty detailed breakdown of where these cases are in the province. And although it's not spread to all parts of Ontario, you are seeing a bit of a trickle of cases in various geographic jurisdictions. Of course, a solid amount, over 150, are in Toronto, the largest city in Canada and in Ontario. But nonetheless, interesting to see how it's spreading beyond Ontario, or rather beyond Toronto to other parts of Ontario. British Columbia adding 19 new cases for a total of 32. Almost all of those are in Vancouver, as far as I'm concerned. Alberta adding 4 new cases for a total of 12. And Saskatchewan adding 2 new cases. These are the first cases confirmed in Saskatchewan. And we're going to have to continue to monitor how this virus spreads throughout Canada. I'd expect it to continue to spread to other provinces in time. But that's the update from Canada. Portugal adding 100 cases since their last update. There are now 515 confirmed cases in Portugal. And there's this more detailed breakdown, if you will, in terms of the age distribution of the cases and a geographic breakdown right here. We can see that 288 of them are in the capital region, Lisbon, and the Tejo Valley. That comprises 84% of the confirmed cases, and nonetheless, you have I'm not sure if this is an exhaustive list of all the health regions in Portugal, but it appears that there's at least one case in a good amount of the health regions there, at least from this map. So 515 confirmed cases there in Portugal. Italy reporting an additional 106 confirmed cases since their last update for a total of 339 confirmed cases. A solid majority of these are in Lombardy in the north, as well as in Lazio, the region surrounding Rome, and Emilia-Romagna. And this update also shows the first confirmed cases in Sicily, right here, 2 new cases there. The virus has spread to Bolzano and Trento. There are a few different regions that don't have any confirmed cases, but that list is dwindling quite rapidly. And I'd expect that to continue to dwindle in the coming days. It'll be interesting, though, to see how the Italian government starts addressing these pretty large clusters in the north of Italy and Lombardy and around the capital there in Rome. But that's the update there from Italy. Brazil really seeing a very explosive outbreak, at least in terms of the numbers that are being reported. An additional 232 cases since their last update for a total now of 310. So really some explosive growth there. At least 300 to 500% increase in terms of the number of cases. And CNN Brazil here reporting that of those cases, 217 are in the state of Sao Paulo, 45 in Rio de Janeiro, 22 in Minas Gerais, 6 in Paraná, 4 in Goiás, 4 in the Federal District, which is Brasilia, the capital, 3 from Rio Grande do Sul, 3 from Ceará, 3 from Rio Grande do Norte, 2 from Bahia, and 1 from Pernambuco. So the virus definitely spreading to many different parts of the country of Brazil, but Sao Paulo continuing to really be the epicenter. And I believe as well Sao Paulo was where the first case was identified. So that's the update on the situation there in Brazil. Belgium reporting an additional 57 cases since their last update for a total of 225. And this being the monkeypox report from the European Centers for Disease Control. So 225 cases in Belgium. Switzerland reporting an additional 77 cases since our last update now for a total of 198. And you can see that there was a big jump here from the 6th of July to the 13th of July with almost 50 new cases right there. So 198 confirmed cases there in Switzerland. Again, they see a moderate threat to the population. Not a lot of information otherwise about the specific cantons that are being affected, or which cantons are being affected the most, but nonetheless 198 confirmed cases in Switzerland. Israel reporting an additional 30, or rather this is Austria reporting an additional 46 confirmed cases of the virus, bringing the total number of cases to 83, and that's reflected down here, right here, so far 83 cases of monkeypox in Austria, rather. And what I was going to say before was 36 additional cases in Israel for a total of 88. I don't have the Israeli Health Ministry website up at the moment, though, but nonetheless, 88 confirmed cases in Israel, and as you can see here, 83 in Austria. Peru reporting an additional 49 cases since our last update now for a total of 64. Again, a country with a very significant growing outbreak. Used to be, maybe 10, 15 cases, now 64. And you can see here that the Peruvian Ministry of Health is reporting that most of those cases are in metropolitan Lima, the capital. But we're also seeing some in the outskirts in provincial Lima. And then we have other parts of the country, Callao, Ica, La Libertad, Tacna, Loreto, and Piura, that are reporting one case each. And interestingly, the advice from the Peruvian government is, just avoid contact with other people, I guess, like shaking your hands with other people. Wash the hands, use a face mask, which you're seeing other countries not really say much about, and isolate if you present symptoms or are symptomatic. And that's the update there from the Peruvian government. Sweden reporting an additional 30 cases since their last update for a total of 58. Again, most of these cases continue to be in Stockholm. This here showing, in terms of the week of the year, the number of new cases. You can see that a lot of them were on the 26th week. But again, 58 cases there in Sweden, rather. Ireland reporting an additional 10 cases since their last update now for a total of 54 cases in Ireland. Mexico reporting 24 cases since their last update for a total of 39, and this is according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, which aggregates data worldwide based on the spread of this disease. Norway adding 16 cases for a total of 38, and that's the update there from the Norwegian Ministry of Health, basically, their data set, if you will. Denmark reporting an additional 19 cases since their last update. They're now at 37 cases by July 15th, according to Reuters. Australia adding 19 new cases since their last update for a total of 33, and this being confirmed by the Australian National Government. We have 17 cases in New South Wales, 12 in Victoria. I should also note that 17 in New South Wales was how it's been for quite some time. Victoria had added 5 new cases, bringing their total number to 12. And then we had 2 in the Australian Capital Territory, 1 in Queensland, and we'd also mentioned prior the one in South Australia. But nonetheless, interestingly enough, the virus now in the Australian Capital Territory, so Canberra, and then in Queensland now, too. Poland adding 16 new cases for a total of 28. That's according to the US CDC, again, in terms of aggregating their worldwide data. Hungary reporting 9 new cases for a total of 28 there, again, according to the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Chile reporting an additional 11 cases since our last update, bringing their total number of confirmed cases to 20, and they note here that 18 of the cases are in the metropolitan region and 2 are in the Antofagasta region, so mostly in the metropolitan region, which is home to the capital of Santiago. Slovenia adding an additional 8 cases for a total of 20, and I should note that I actually was not able to get a link for that. The Slovenian Health Ministry's website was experiencing some issues, but nonetheless, 8 new cases there for a total of 20. Ghana reporting 1 new case, at least according to this update here from the World Health Organization, bringing their total number of confirmed cases to 19. So that's the update there from Ghana. Romania adding 5 new cases, bringing their total number of cases to 16, and that again being from Reuters as of July 14th. The Czech Republic adding 5 new cases for a total of 13, and this again being according to the United States Centers for Disease Control. Greece adding 6 new cases for a total of 13, and that being according to the National Organization for Public Health. 8 of the cases originated abroad, and 4 had come into contact with a suspected case. 1 case may have spread domestically, though no confirmation there from the Greek government. Finland adding 3 confirmed cases for a total of 13, that being again via Reuters as of July 11th. Argentina adding 6 new cases since our last update for a total of 12. This was the most recent update from the Argentinian government here, saying that of the most recent 3 cases, 2 were from Cordoba and 1 from the city of Buenos Aires. So that being the update there from the Argentinian government. Malta adding 3 new cases for a total of 9, that being the update from the European Centers for Disease Control. Iceland reporting 3 new cases for a total of 7, that being the update from the US CDC. Colombia reporting 2 new cases for a total of 7, that also being an update from the US CDC. Luxembourg reporting an additional 4 cases for a total of 7, and that, well, this says 6 actually, so an additional 3 cases for a total of 6, so that being the update from the European Centers for Disease Control. Singapore adding 4 cases since our last update. There's now 6 confirmed cases in Singapore. 3 are domestic and 3 are from abroad. And interestingly enough, the Singaporean Ministry of Health saying that they cannot link this case, this most recent domestic case in that 41-year-old man, to any of the other cases in the country, which suggests that you now have a 3rd local case in the country and you're not sure where it came from. They say they're doing contact tracing, but this just continues to suggest that there is community spread in Singapore. Gibraltar reporting an additional 4 cases for a total of 5, according to the CDC. Similarly, Serbia reported an additional 4 confirmed cases for a total of 5, again according to the CDC. Croatia adding 2 new cases for a total of 3, according to the European CDC. South Africa adding 1 case for a total now of 3, this being according to Reuters. That South Africa confirms a 3rd case in a tourist from Switzerland, a 42-year-old male that was in Limpopo province, and that presented with symptoms that are classic of monkeypox, including a rash, muscle ache, and fatigue. This being confirmed by the National Institute for Communicable Diseases. So that's the update there from South Africa. Estonia added 1 new case for a total of 2. Again, that's according to the European CDC. New Zealand adding their 1st and 2nd cases. On July 9th, New Zealand reported their 1st confirmed case, and a man, or actually they don't give gender, but a person in their 30s who lives in Auckland and recently traveled abroad. And then on the 12th of July, New Zealand reported their 2nd case, and this was in a person that had also traveled overseas and was isolating in the northern region. Again, New Zealand iterating that there is 0 evidence of community transmission at the moment, but I'd expect that to change as the government there monitors the spread of this virus. Taiwan reporting 1 additional case, bringing their total number of cases to 2. And they say that this was a male in his 30s from northern Taiwan who had gone on a business trip to the US from May to July. And he began to develop symptoms on July 3rd, sought medical attention on the 5th, and returned to Taiwan on the 10th. So very much so an imported case of the virus to Taiwan. Andorra reporting its 1st case of the virus, this being according to the government there. Not a lot of information about this case, but the 1st confirmed case in Andorra. Bosnia reporting their 1st confirmed case of the virus. And this being according to the Sarajevo University Clinical Center, where the patient presented themselves. Nothing much else besides this being the 1st confirmed case in Bosnia, and that was confirmed in Sarajevo, the capital. Barbados reporting their 1st confirmed case. This is today, July 16th. This is the statement here from the Minister of Health, Ian Gooding-Edgell. Not a lot of information, except that this is a Barbadian male in his 30s who attended the Winston Scott Polyclinic with symptoms of the rash, and they had arrived from overseas after, they suggest that they sought medical attention after arriving in the country. So it appears to be an imported case there, the 1st confirmed case in Barbados. The Dominican Republic reporting their 1st confirmed case on the 6th of July, according to Reuters. This was someone that arrived in the country in late June from the United States, a 25-year-old man who arrived on June 28th in Santo Domingo. And that was investigated by the Dominican health authorities, and they said they're observing 4 other people who've been in close contact with the patient since their arrival in the country. Ecuador reporting as well their 1st confirmed case on July 6th. This being from Xinhua News, Chinese state news, state media, saying that the Ecuadorian Public Health Ministry confirmed the country's 1st case in a 30-year-old man. And interestingly, it's in the southwest coastal province of Guayas. Not a lot of other information, other than that, Ecuador was preparing for this. They issued a nationwide health alert on the 22nd of May. And lo and behold, here's their 1st case on July 7th, or July 6th, rather. India reporting their 1st confirmed case in the state of Kerala. Not a lot of information there. Other than that, it's a traveler from the United Arab Emirates that arrived in India on the 12th of July, and now on the 14th of July they tested positive, and so there's India's first case of the virus. Jamaica reporting their first confirmed case as of July 7th. According to the Honorable Dr. Christopher Tufton, they presented themselves on the 5th of July, and they'd recently traveled to the United Kingdom, which we know is a site of significant transmission, so not too surprising there. First case in Jamaica. France 24 confirmed the first case in New Caledonia. This would probably be included in the count for France, but nonetheless, the first confirmed case in New Caledonia, one of the Pacific islands that France controls in the Asia-Oceania region. Reuters saying that Russia confirmed their first case of monkeypox on July 12th. So quite recent. Not a lot of information about where this case is, but this being confirmed by the consumer safety watchdog, Rospratra Ban something. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Anyways, Russia confirming their first confirmed case on July 12th. Saudi Arabia reporting their first confirmed case of the virus in a person in Riyadh that had recently traveled abroad. Their close contacts have tested negative, and they've not showed any symptoms. But nonetheless, the first confirmed case there in Saudi Arabia, in the capital. And finally, Slovakia confirming their first case of the disease in someone between the ages of 20 and 59 that likely contracted it abroad. And this was confirmed via Reuters on July 7th. So that is the update on the global spread of monkeypox. We have a lot of new cases in countries that have entrenched outbreaks. We see countries like Brazil seeing very explosive growth in the number of cases. Same thing with Austria and Peru. And then a decent number of countries reporting their first confirmed cases, as you can see down here. And we'll continue to monitor the spread of this outbreak. It's spreading really quickly, and the number of confirmed cases worldwide is growing very rapidly. We can see here the cumulative confirmed cases just continuing to rise and rise and rise, no sign of stop, and we'll expect that meeting on the 21st of July with the World Health Organization to try and take that into account. One thing that I would note as well, though, is that we saw more recently 9 confirmed deaths in the Democratic Republic of the Congo from this disease, that being according to a bulletin from the World Health Organization. However, we have not seen any confirmed deaths outside of these countries where the virus is endemic, all in Africa, Central Africa. So we'll have to continue to monitor that. So we will continue to see how the number of cases grows in the coming days, and how the World Health Organization responds to what is evidently an increasingly global public health threat. Thank you for watching.